Hello, hello. Hope you're all doing well. I just finished watching the season finale of season 2 for The Last of Us, and I am underwhelmed. Um, I don't know, man. This show, season 1 was absolutely amazing. Season 2 started off really strong, and it just couldn't land on its feet. Um, I think this was their weakest episode, and I have no idea in God's name why they thought making it a 7 episode season was a smart idea. Because as much as as much as they want to make Abby's story as prominent, or like they want you to focus on her story as well to give you an idea of the decisions that were made while they were making the game and stuff, and like I get that, but this is also Ellie's story, and it's also about the fact that Ellie goes through so many different phases all at once throughout this entire story, right? I'm not going to spoil the ending, obviously, of the entire, how this show ends or how it's going to end and stuff, but when we get there, we get there. But it just feels like Ellie's story was rushed completely, and it shows with this episode. The Again, this is spoiler filled in case you didn't realize. The aquarium scene was much more interesting in the game. It had a lot more feeling, emotion. There was a lot more tension. This was absolutely nothing. Like, honestly, I didn't even feel anything. I just felt like I don't even know how we got here. We're just here, and now those two are dead, like Owen and Mel. Um, they, I don't know, like there was a little bit of a moment between Mel and Ellie that was okay. Like I enjoyed that, like not enjoyed, but like that was nice to watch in that sense. But again, the emotional impact of that whole scene gone completely out of the drain, right? Tommy and Jesse finding her again and then coming back. Everything was just too convenient too quickly. Her escaping from the village, if I remember correctly, that was a whole level in the game, and it was a long level. Like, it wasn't anything that was maybe pertaining to the story, but it was still a good level, and they should have really done that. They could have done this in 3 episodes, right? Her getting captured should have been the end of this episode, and then her way fighting out, getting to the aquarium, and then perhaps maybe doing what they did at the end. Throughout this entire episode, I just felt like everything was moving too fast, too quickly. Like, again, no idea why they were rushing Ellie's story. No idea why they decided to do that. It was really stupid. It made absolutely no sense whatsoever, right? I don't understand what the logic there was. Like, they're like, oh, season 3 is going to be better. We're really going to focus on Abby's story. Like, you guys are going to enjoy it. I heard it might even be a 10 episode season. And I'm just like, no offense. Like, I'm excited to see Abby's story, and I'm excited to for people to feel a certain type of way while watching that side of the story, and to understand, or to make their mind, like, to change their minds about whether they want to support Abby or not and stuff like that, to question the morality choices that were made. However, Ellie's story is just as important, and it needed to be given much more time and care. And I think they did an injustice to Bella Ramsey, because she was actually fitting into Ellie in such a beautiful way, and she was turning more and more into the character as the season progressed, and all of it just went down the drain with the end, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I understand that you can't do everything from the game to live action, sure. Even though this game, if you ever get a chance to play it, you'll know that it's not as unrealistic, and there isn't much that there wasn't anything in the game that they really couldn't have shown in the TV show. So I don't know why they decided to go down that route, but they did. And I just feel like some of these things were so rushed that you lose the emotional value, the emotional component to this show, right? This show, I loved season 1. I looked forward to watching it every day when it was coming out on every Sunday night. I was ready to watch because I absolutely adored it. Right, what made this show was the dynamic between Joel and Ellie and their story, which season 1 captured beautifully. Season 2, I don't know what they were thinking. This needed to be a 10 episode season. They needed more time. And I honestly cannot stress that enough. Like, I just feel like it was too rushed. It didn't give us that emotional component I was looking for. They were leading up to the episodes really well. Like, every episode it was getting a little bit better. Maybe one or two episodes were a little bit slow, whatever it was, but emotionally I was there, right? Like last week's episode 6, that emotion of revisiting Joel and her in the past and seeing their relationship and all of that. Again, there were some flaws in that episode, but it still worked, right? It still made us remember Joel, and it made us go like, no, what she's doing is right and she needs to kill Abby. But it all goes down the drain in this whole episode here. This was not a good episode. This is honestly like a 5, even like a 4 out of 10. It wasn't the best, and it wasn't a good season ender. Like, yeah, you're teasing us with Abby's story, which is also very important and vital to the actual storyline as a whole, but you just kind of rushed Ellie's story, and I don't understand why. And you need to give both of them their equal time in order for people to decide about the ending, which is very controversial at the end of the day, right? A lot of people don't understand the ending of the game. A lot of people actually do understand the ending of the game, the choices and everything that makes sense. And there's a lot of people who are just like, this is a stupid game, but they don't realize that this game is actually one of the best games ever made, and they will later down the line. But again, we won't get that in the show. Now, if you're somebody, I think the issue here is because I've played the game. Maybe that's why I'm so invested, and maybe that's why I'm calling out these things. Perhaps if I was an average audience member, I wouldn't feel or care as much. But I still feel that even as an average audience, member, or like someone who's never played the game, I would still feel some type of way of how they're progressing in terms of the story. That's my thought. Let me know what you guys think. Again, 4 out of 10 could have been better. 3 out of 10, honestly, it was garbage. The season was actually doing pretty well. Personally, I felt Bella Ramsey was really filling into her character. They were giving her some good screen time. A lot of these episodes were actually pretty decent. They weren't too bad. And they kind of just threw it all down the drain with this crap. So I really hope season 3 is better. I will be a little bit upset if they give Abby a little bit more time in season 3, because I feel like they should have done that exactly with Ellie as well, but it is what it is. But I'd love to hear from you guys, so let me know and catch me on the next review. Have a wonderful day, guys.